What is happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG's back, and we're back for Daniel Farke's press conference reaction. Also got Scott Parker quotes as well to come, and we'll see what how Burnley are feeling on their side ahead of this. It is a big game. It is a big game. I think it's one of those games where the winner gets a real big boost, and hopefully it's not a draw. But if the winner gets a boost, which hopefully is us, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the season. Now, Burnley are going into the game in a little bit of shaky form. We're going into it well. But as we all know, the international break has just happened, so we're going to have to wait and see. But listen, before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, of course, drop your comments below. And guys as well, like the video. You have to do that. Really does help out the channel, and it's free to do. So, just get the likes up or dislike it if you want. Anything you like. Shout out to John Abbott, Arinda, and Lebo Mode as well for a very generous super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. And shout out to all my existing members as well. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description or is next to the subscribe button called join. JR Racer saying, afternoon KG and all, with Ramazani having stayed during the break and time to get up to speed, I wonder if he may start in DJ's place. We'll see about that, and we'll speak about it in just a bit. Nigel in the house, afternoon big man. Yeah. Andy saying, I had a funny suspicion that Dan James would rush back from a hamstring injury. Reese is saying, please tell me it's just Dan James injured. Yeah, well, listen, there wasn't really too much with the press conference, so I don't think we're going to be too long today. He was asked, obviously, about Liam Cooper. As we know, Liam Cooper exited officially. I mean, he's been out the club, but he officially found and signed with a new club, with it being CSKA Sofia out in Bulgaria. He didn't go into too much on this one. It seemed pretty much like the feeling was that he said everything about Liam Cooper before. He can't say anything more. Wished him all the best and everything else like that. And, that he's always going to be a Leeds, fan. He's always going to be there for Leeds United and just kept it moving. And I think that was the right thing to do in terms of this. I'm not one to give a eulogy about Liam Cooper, but I think it was the right thing to do because we're having to focus on the next big game, which is Burnley. We have to focus on the group that we've got. It was good that the club, I'm sure everyone, I don't know how you feel about the tributes given by the club. If you're happy with them or not, give me your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, I think he just wanted to close this chapter, say all the best to Liam Cooper and move on to the pressing matters, which of course is Leeds United getting back to the Premier League. And I actually did appreciate that approach because I did go into this one. Yeah, I know. I did go into this one thinking we was going to get a 15-20 minute spot on Liam Cooper. I thought we was going to get like a whole, tribute to Liam Cooper today. But Daniel Farke kept it moving. So, salute to him for that. Yeah, I've seen the video. I've seen the video in terms of his signing. And look, like I say, I'm not phony. I'm not going to come on here and then start eulogizing about Liam Cooper. And look, we had a real good stream the other day as well, talking about, Barclays men and just reminiscing on the Champions League days and everything. You know what? We may do that again. I'm sure we will, because I always seem to veer back to, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. But, I can't go in good, conscious of talking about the options that we had in terms of Woodgate, Radaby, and Ferdinand, and then eulogize about Liam Cooper. But what I will say is that he was a fantastic captain, and I've maintained that. I've always said that off the pitch. He was a fantastic leader off it. Was instrumental along with Luke Ayling in terms of Ben White and his development at the football club. But yeah, I'm just going to keep it there because I do appreciate that a lot of people do like him. So fairs. Yeah, Darren saying the signing video was odd, like he was promoting the car. Yeah, all good. Yeah, is what it is, man. Good luck to him out in Bulgaria. But listen, we got matters to talk about because everything's refreshed. Of course it has. One thing, no. One thing I will get behind though is this people. Is a young supporter called Bob. I think he's 6 years old, which is why they want an applause at the 6th minute in Saturday's match. Hopefully that happens. I'm sure everyone at Leeds in the ground will get behind that. Yeah, you never want to see. I always have not a hard time, but it's always tough seeing when little kids like pass away and stuff like that. So hopefully everyone in the ground gets behind that. That is definitely a worthy cause to get behind. So hopefully everyone supports Bob and hands out those applauses on the 6th minute. No matter what, even if we're 3-0 down to Burnley, don't care. Get behind that and just, in memory of the kid. Yeah, exactly, man. Rest in peace. Exactly. Rest in peace. Steve here saying Dan James out is a big loss. We're going to have a lot of tired players on Saturday after the international break. Okay, let's get into it. Everything is reset. I don't know why, but I'm with you still. I'm with you still. Here we are. Daniel Farke confirms that Dan James has been re-injured during his rehab. He's out for 4 weeks, and that will be after the next international break. As we know already, Max Verber has an issue with his knee, when it's his meniscus, and is a big doubt. I would not expect to see Max Verber on the bench for this game. All other players back in training. Bamford involved since Tuesday. And what this, that's the reason why I've opened up the question in regards to Willy Gnonto now, because with Dan James as well, and I don't know if this is going to be a concern. We'll talk about that in a bit. But just in terms of the positions now, does it delay Willy Gnonto going into the 10? Because we know we've got Solomon, who for me seems to be stapled to the left. We got Ramazani, as Jay Racer said earlier. But who is going to play on the right? We could even say about Brendan Aronson, but even Brendan, did he play yesterday? He played something for around 60 something minutes out in America. He's in Ohio. So whether he's going to be back in time and fresh enough to start the game on Saturday, which is a 12:30 kickoff, is a big doubt for me. So are we now back to the point where Willy Gnonto is going to go to the right, even though we know Danny Farke wants to utilize him in the 10? Or will it be a case of Ramazani going out to the right? Love the quotes as well by Ramazani, talking about the buzz that he got of hearing, the crowd when Joseph scored, and how he wants that. Hopefully he wants that a few times this season, so we get to see that a few. But Darren here saying just start Ramazani. It seems like that could be the way. But in all fairness to you, Darren, I've only seen Ramazani's best stuff from the left, which is the annoying thing in regards to why we didn't get another, right winger. We got Ramazani in, then we get Solomon in. We overloaded there. We know Gnonto's going to be there, but now we expect Gnonto to be central. We've left ourselves short there, and this is the thing with Dan James. Don't know if anyone is concerned with Dan James, because now this is his hamstring that is injured, and we know a big part of Dan James' game is his pace. For me, if he loses his pace, if it's not like a Michael Owen situation. If you remember Michael Owen, who actually snapped his hamstring at Ellen Road, if people may forget about that. But at least with Owen, he had different things to his game, what compensated for the pace going. I'd be scared if Dan James comes back and he loses a yard of pace. I think that would be very scary in terms of just his general toolbox that he's got. Still think he's going to be a big miss at this level at 100%. We need Dan James in the squad and in the first team when we can, but he's going to be out. The hamstring hasn't recovered. Farke even said it got worse, which is very, very scary to me. But hopefully he'll be back, and I guess we'll get an update after the next international break. John H. Yeah, in terms of Aronson, he played early hours of Wednesday. Yeah, exactly. Darren saying move Solomon to the right. Well, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think Israel did play him centrally. So is there a case that maybe Manor Solomon will be we move centrally and Gnonto then goes back out to the right, which I think is an easy transition? I guess we will find out when we'll preview the game tomorrow. I'm not doing the preview in this one. This is more about the press conference reaction. So Aina saying, no, I'm telling you, Ramazani will be our main left wing this season. Aina, the thing is, though, it's a great debate. It's a great conversation to have, and what options that we have there, whether it's Ramazani or Solomon. You're talking about two players there that nearly every team in this division would kill to have one or the other. So we're in good hands, but it's going to be interesting to see how they're deployed, especially in this game with Dan James being out yet again. Natalie saying probably Verber missing is a big issue in terms of cover. It is if something goes down with Strauch and Rodon, of course, but we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. We've got DeBio in reserve there, but this is what we've gone with, people. This is what we've gone with. It's nothing you can do about it now. If Strauch or Rodon go off injured or get suspended, then of course that means DeBio is going to probably get called up quicker than maybe Daniel Farke would have anticipated. But he would have had to know that. The team would have had to know that. The club would have had to know that. They couldn't have just gone in there thinking, yeah, we're going to have Strauch and Rodon for the first 20 games, then we'll blood in DeBio. I don't think they'd be that naive. So I think they'll be prepared for that option. Whether DeBio's ready, we will wait and see. Reese, we don't want to do this again, man. Ampadu can cover centre back. He can, but We saw that last season. It was good, but then it wasn't good, was it? It wasn't as smooth as it was when we was on the winning streak. And I would hate FARKE to get married back to Ampadu being a centre back. We don't need that again. Keep him in midfield. Let's utilize the bar if he's ready to do so. Youssef just saying in regards to James, yeah, without pace, he'd have to reinvent himself. Yeah, that's scary, Youssef. I'm not gonna lie, but listen, I'm not saying that there's any long-term concerns about Dan James, but he has been injured a fair bit. Got to say, since the last international break where we fell apart, it's been a bit in and out for Dan James. In all fairness, when it comes to injuries, so. But if he's losing his pace, yeah, it's a bit scary. Not gonna lie. But look, we have to get on with it. We have to see what we've got. We've got a lot of good tools in the box to use. It's going to be interesting to see what we deploy against Burnley, and we'll speak about that in preferred 11s tomorrow. Scott though saying we have Gruev and Tanaka in midfield now. We would be weaker with Debayo in. We may be weaker, Scott, but this is part of our first team squad. Like it doesn't matter if we're weaker. We know where we're going to be weaker where certain players come in. But these are the options that Danny Farker has said okay or has accepted is going to be okay going forward. If we're not going to use Debayo when we're down a centre back, then what's the point? And it doesn't look good as well going into January. If we do need another centre back, if Verber is to leave, which I do think may be on the cards, then how are we going to get another centre back in if we're just going to keep on moving Ampadu back? I know it's a good option to have. It is a decent option to have. But listen, I'd be fine with it if I know Danny Farke is just going to move him back to midfield once the regular centre back comes in. But you just never know with Daniel. You never know. He was asked about Isaac today, but he said the same for both Tanaka and Isaac. So I guess we'll round it up today. He was just asked about the signings, and Danny Farke said he tried to sign Tanaka last summer, as we all know. Told the scouting department about him, really rates him. Said Tanaka considers it an honor to play for Leeds United, was desperate to be here. And he just mentioned about Joe Rothwell's passing ability. He hasn't played one bad pass since I worked with him. But in regards to Tanaka, the thing that Danny Farke did make clear with both players, with Schmidt and Tanaka, is that they haven't played at the highest level in their club careers. Obviously, international is a different matter, but he's just talking about them getting acclimatized to Leeds United, getting up to the speed of the league and everything else like that. But he's very excited for both players. But yeah, we shall see, man. We shall see. Yeah, Jamie here saying I agreed. Oh no, I don't like a does a job. I hate that. Let me rephrase it. I agree that he does well at the back, but Ampadu's best position is midfield. It's easily in midfield. As a defensive midfielder, the thing is, Ampadu said that himself. And even this past summer, I think it was this past summer, he said, my best spot is in defensive midfield. He doesn't mind playing centre back, but where possible, he will play defensive midfield, and that is his best position by a mile. But yeah, listen, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, people. If Strauch or Roden go out, we'll have the conversation then. You know what I mean? Jamie just saying, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's me. It's my hang-ups. Don't worry about it. But yeah, listen, in regards to that, and it's very funny because I'm going to go on to Scott Parker's quotes in a minute, but Danny Farke was talking about Burnley and how they're a little bit more settled, or they were, they had a bit of turmoil after the relegation, which is normal, but that they've got a very good team. Also, Scott Parker said pretty much the same thing. Vega here saying people already talking about Schmidt replacing Firpo without kicking the ball yet. Yeah, for me, like I said to everyone else, people, and I don't pretend otherwise, the only footage I've seen of Schmidt is that game before he joined Leeds United. That is the only thing I've ever seen of him. So for me, Firpo stays in. And quite frankly, Firpo is in good form. And at this level, with the way that he can create, I think it's cash money that he stays in. He seems to be developing a nice relationship as well off the pitch, as well as on with Joseph. Got to keep that going. No, we didn't sign anyone at fullback, at left back, that said to me that we should be replacing Firpo. And you know me, I don't rate Firpo that highly. If we got in, say, Harrison Burrows, I'd say, yeah, he replaces Firpo. If we got in Josh Doig, I'd say, yeah, he replaces Firpo. But I don't know enough about Schmidt or seen enough to say that he just comes in and takes Firpo's spot. I don't think that would work very well. And plus, Daniel Farke trusts Junior Firpo at this level as well. Yeah, and that's another thing as well. And that's a great point, Yusuf. Firpo's done nothing wrong to be replaced, and I completely agree with that at this point in time. Let me just make that clear. Um, so Burnley, in terms of Burnley in this, they have made a signing. I didn't even realize they signed somebody. But anyway, Scott Parker on the timing of the international break, and it's no wonder he was glad of it because Burnley were, going on a little sticky run there. It came at the right time after the window closed. We had a lot of new players in the building, so it was a good time to work with them. And Daniel Farke made this very clear as well today. And I hope he's not using it, getting ready to use it as an excuse. I still expect to win this game. And look, we'll do predictions tomorrow. But he's been talking about the lack of first team players around because we have such a high amount that go away for internationals. I think we have 13 away. We had like 8 players available, then 10, now 16 just yesterday. But Burnley have still got a few internationals themselves in that case. Fleming, Fleming. Okay, mate. Scott Park on Leeds United challenge. A big test for us. We're playing a very good side. They have a settled team, and going to Ellen Road brings a big challenge for us. We're looking forward to it. We're a new team, but we go into this one with real excitement. Now, I wonder if Scott Parker's got an excuse in his back pocket there. You know what I mean? Leeds United is settled, all that stuff. But yeah, in terms of Scott, both managers seem to be playing it very, just in case-ish, if that makes sense to people. No one's saying, that they're the favorites or, expected to win. It's more of a case of this is a big game and, what will be, will be. But yeah, meat and potatoes, Fleming. I just can't get behind. Now, of course, you know what people are saying, like Fleming could get the winner, or more to the point, Jaden Anthony could come on for a last-minute dagger. But you know what I mean? It's one of those where I wouldn't want Fleming at my football club. You know what I'm saying? Uh, what else did he say? The closure of the transfer window. Oh, yeah, this is who they've recently signed as well on a free. John Egan. I think if you remember him, he was at Sheffield United. At one point, let me just say this: he brings a wealth of experience that we need. He's been promoted out of this division and knows exactly what is needed to be successful. We have a lot of young players in the building, and he can help them in the dressing room with his experience. See, this is another one where if Sheffield United could have that one back, they should have sold him when Jose Mourinho wanted him at Tottenham. That was a real link as well. That was a real one. You big. This is what happens though when you keep players over their sell by date. He's left on a free, and now he finds himself at Burnley. Don't know if he's going to play this weekend. Maybe he'll be on the bench. I don't know, but we shall see. But John Egan at this level is a good option for them, much like Joe Worrell. These aren't players I would want at my football club, but I do get it on a championship level. Yeah, he did. This is when Sheffield United were having that nice patch. I think they finished eighth or ninth. And Jack O'Connell was their overlapping centre back, but Egan was one of their best defenders by a mile. He was brilliant for them. And there was interest from him. And if you remember as well, at that time, John Fleck, he was wanted by Arsenal. See, a lot of people forget these things, and it's just one of these things, isn't it, where you have to learn from and go, maybe we should cash in on these players. Now, I see John Fleck is at Chesterfield now, but is what it is. Yeah, overlapping centre backs. Yeah, Chris Wilder had something going there, but once the Premier League figure you out, boy, it's brutal. As we know, people, as we know. But yeah, listen, Burnley have obviously got a good team at this level. Scott Parker, I know that I think they've got around 10 injuries, but I'm not sure to who. So I can't tell you the names. Maybe I'll research those and get them for tomorrow. But, they've got injury problems. We obviously have a couple of players out, but I still think that we've got a strong enough team to take it to Burnley. Now, we know the form they were in before the international break. Of course, that kind of resets, but let's pile on the misery. Let's not do what we did against Southampton last year, where Southampton were literally on the brink of sacking Russell Martin. Then we, give them the in, and they go on then like a 25, 26 game unbeaten streak, thanks to us. We need to go against Burnley and set the marker down. Set the marker down and show that we are top 2 and that we want to be automatically promoted. This is how you do it. You win these games. I mean, people could say that we did that last year. We beat Leicester and Ipswich, didn't count to nothing. Got it. But you help yourself by winning these games and taking points in those games that you should do throughout the season. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. That's it for me. Yeah, let's not be Charity FC again. It's boring. It's annoying. Let's put the dagger in somebody. You know what I mean? Let's be the. I don't not want people to lose their jobs, but let's be the cause of people's pain. Don't give them regeneration. You know what I mean? But that's what we do at times. But look, this is going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to the game. Not going to lie. I'm looking forward to club football. Looking forward to the Prem being back. It's good, man. Nice to see your club football being spoken about again. Gail just saying here, dreadful news about James. It is. It's a big blow, man, because he is our legitimate only out and out right winger. We know other people can play there. We know Gnonto can play there. We know Brendan Aronson can play right wing adjacent at times, but he is literally our only one, and he's a different option to everything else we have. Whereas we got the poise, the guile, the skill, the technique of Solomon, Ramazani, Gnonto. Dan James gives you that chaos factor, you know, like a Darwin Núñez or something like that. You just never know. But you know, he might just end up with something. You know, he might end up with a goal or assist in the game. That's just Dan James, isn't it? But listen, he's going to be out, and hopefully he'll be back after the next international break. Yeah. Andy asking, is Darlow knocking on the door now after his debut for Leeds second team Wales? Tremendous. Yeah. I said that in the last video. Maybe he looks a bit more attractive now to FARKE in terms of now he's a full Welsh international. But I don't know. I think Meslier is safe now. I think he's safe. JRS is saying, I'll be at ER on Saturday, so I want to see us win and play. I predict a riot again. Yeah, we always want to win, man. Let's go, man. Let's go. Sean saying here, I want to see us fighting for the cause. For the cause, I think you mean, yeah, hitting them hard every time they get the ball. Pressure. Yeah. Well, control pressure, Sean. You know that's where we go wrong sometimes, being headless chickens, and then people are out of position, and then we get hit on the counter. We've seen that in the games, even though we've been on a good run. In the earlier games, we were being hit on the counter because we was out of possession. You know, pointless, you know, runs not being tracked back and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, 100%. And that's where, and we'll save this for the preview and why I'm going to go with the 11 I'm going to put tomorrow. But it's important that we control the midfield because they do have handy players at this level, big time. You know, Connor's favorite, Brownhill, he's going to be a threat, you know, if he's fit and available. There's going to be, you know, Kali Osho as well. He just signed a new contract with them, even though I think he was going to leave. So I think he's probably got a release clause in that deal. But he signed a new contract. He's willing to knuckle down for the cause for Burnley. He's going to be a problem. There's going to be a lot of good talent there, but we've got to match them and beat them. That's what it is for me. Gail, absolutely. We need to win most of our home games. Yeah, look at our home record last year. It was brilliant. You know, up until that you know, ill-fated Blackburn game where we lost that one, and then you know it just went to pot. You know, Sunderland 0-0. You know, the home form was absolutely brilliant. The home record was fantastic, but you have to be consistent with it, as we shown. You know, we failed in the end because we didn't get things done. But look, in terms of that, Gail's absolutely right. Make Ellen Road a fortress again, and just make it impenetrable. Absolutely. Tanya here saying we have to really manage Solomon minutes. I think actually no, Tanya. I think you said that it's Manor, isn't it? You told me it's Manor. But yeah, look, of course, Solomon is obviously an exciting player, though. I mean, he is a cut above at this level. But Tanya's right. Like, we got to manage his minutes. He not long. We talk about meniscus injuries for Max Verber. This guy has suffered the worst. So, you know, we know that he's not going to play 46 games. I think that is very unrealistic. But it's exciting. Whether he's playing or Ramazani, it's a good choice to have. But yeah, I think if he's fit to play, though, I think Solomon has to start for me. I think he's going to be that important for us. Gail, though, saying, think Darlow should get more game time. Think he could do well. The thing is, Gail, I saw a quote from Carl Darlow recently, and and the thing is, I haven't got it up, so I won't be able to find it. But he said something in regards to now he's you know, broke into the Welsh team and you know, seemingly the number one there. He wants to play at the World Cup for Wales if they get there. But he didn't make out like it was important for him to play. He said, yeah, I would like to play more games, but I train well. I do things enough. And I'm paraphrasing here. I train well enough. I know how to take care of myself, and I'll always be ready. That doesn't sound like someone that's beating down the door saying, I should be number one, which is what I thought he would be when he came in the door, when he signed. I thought he's coming here to be the number one at Leeds United, be the average goalkeeper we need at this level while we cash in on Meslier. But he sounds very settled. And if Craig Bellamy's told him that it's not that important that you Leeds United number one, as long as we get training reports that you're doing well, then what's the rush for him to even leave at this point? He's probably very comfortable. But we shall see. Look, I thought that there was a chance that Cardano would leave at the end of the window. I thought he would possibly go to Hull City or somewhere like that, but he's still here. But we shall see, won't we? Um, yeah, yeah, Jay Race is saying well enough the red flag for someone who should be pushing Melier. Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Okay, we are going longer than I thought we would. We are definitely going longer. I was going to mention this one. Look, we're going to do the preview tomorrow, but I just want to know if anyone saw the Dean Brennan, the Barnet manager, Dean Brennan post-match chat. Did anyone see this? I'm just going to quickly cover it, just because there's been a lot of conversation in regards to his post-match and how refreshing it was, and that's how a manager should speak. And but I think there's context involved in regards to this, because we even had it, and I can link it back to us last season with Daniel Farker, where you're telling the fans that he was saying that there's only 900 of you here today. We could do with 2,000 of you. That could give us a center forward. And he's right. He's right in one instance, but as we know, in this economy, you know what? It's hard. It is hard to go to football games these days in this day and age. I don't know how much a Barnet ticket is, but that money could possibly go on someone's gas. You know what I mean? So you can't just downplay people's personal finances. But what I would always say with these kind of things is, as refreshing it is, it's because it's Barnet why it's refreshing. Like, he couldn't be, Ten Hag talking like this. And even Daniel Farker didn't get away with it last year. When Daniel Farker referred to, you can either believe or you can moan and doubt. Well, the moan and doubters were not proven right, because you don't want to be proven right, but they were right to be doubting and moaning because we didn't get the job done. So it's all relative to the level you're at where you can get away with these kind of speech. I thought it was great because it is Barnet. They're currently 6th in the league, but just it'd be more like Pep, and I guess this would be the best kind of example. If Manchester City fans, Manchester City are 3rd after 10 games, and Man City fans after 4 Premier Leagues in a row with the treble in between, starting to moan at Pep. Pep would be more within his right to say, are you crazy? You know what I mean? It's all relative, and context has to be applied when it comes to managers talking like this, because not every manager can get away with speeches like this. Let's have a look here. Carl just saying here in regards to the game, whilst the majority of our players are fit, Pascal, Rodon, Solomon, Gnonto, every game is a must win. Points on the board early, ready. Points on the board early, ready for any slump like every team has throughout a long season. Carl, I appreciate you put a comma in there, but there needed to be another. But it's cool, brother. It's cool. But I completely agree and understand, understand and agree with that. We are one of the big teams in this division. Like, we are literally one of the best sides. I look at a lot of our games, and even this one, I do think we should be beating Burnley in our current form. But I look at a majority of games in this league we should be winning. There's not a lot of games that we will come into this season where I think, if we could get a point at Plymouth, or a point at no, we should be looking to get 3 points. And if we don't get 3 points, obviously something's gone wrong. We are not going to win 46 games, obviously, but we should be looking at winning a majority of these games with the players that we have, 100%. So yeah, set the marker out and beat Burnley, and let's go 100. Yeah, Ollie, yeah, you're right, Ollie. He did call out City fans on go. Pep's thing with City fans is when they get entitled, because what happens is there's no noise in the ground. It's like with that expectancy. Back when Man United used to be, the best team, you'd only ever hear that crowd when they scored a goal. Otherwise, it was like a library, and that's what Pep's saying. He's saying, the crowd need to do more. Turn up to games and all that stuff. Even though I'm sure Man City ticket is very expensive, but yeah, he has called them out before and that. But City fans will say, "Oh, all right, Pep," because you don't want to lose Pep. He's the glue to that. He's definitely the glue. Um, yeah, James here saying you guys are lucky how cheap sports tickets are over there. I bought 2 away NFL tickets last year for $1,200. Yeah, it's mad, James. When I've been to NHL games over in America, I think I've been quite lucky with it being New Jersey Devils. But the tickets I got were fairly cheap. I think I got them for like $100 each or just over. And I think they were like, because season ticket holders weren't going to be at that game, so I got them. But yeah, I've seen the tickets for American sports, man. It's mad. It's mad. But that's why those people get paid a lot of money. A lot of money. Um, let's have a look here. Oh, yeah, people, look, that is it for the show today. You know, I didn't want to go too long. I've actually gone longer than I thought, but I will be back tomorrow for the preview, and we're going to go through the our preferred 11s and everything else like that tomorrow. Going to do that tomorrow. I'm also on with Connor at some point tomorrow. I think it's 12 o'clock. Need to double check that. So listen, people, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live. You know when I'm doing the preview, and we can talk about the Burnley game in detail tomorrow. Hit a like before you go. Subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments below, and I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.